You Donald Trump?
That's right.
Let's see this. Looks. You're the FBI.
Hey, could you keep it down in here? Cody's out there trying to, I guess, get his car in the lift now, but he needs to check bolts and things like that. Tim's changing in here, changing tires. We're here for night number 2 of the Topless. Guess just trying to do all the maintenance for today, this afternoon, to get ready for tonight. Cody does start on the front row outside of B feature number 1. They only took the top 2 in each of the 7 heats last night, and everyone else went to a B. I think, like I told you last night, there were 68 cars in his class. So there are 3 Bs. He starts on the front row of the first one. So looking to win that and then move on into tonight's feature, which if he did, we would start 15th, which is 1 spot better than he did 2 weeks ago here. So that's what we have going on now. Okay, the trick-or-treating has begun. We've got quite a few kids walking around back here. We are kind of way in the back, so we're not up front. So hopefully they're brave and they venture back here. We actually have Tim back. I believe it's like 2 months almost to the day.
Yeah, it was a week. Yeah, it would be 2 months to this.
I think it was like August 24th or right around there was the last race that Tim was at. So he's been kind of missing in action. You've heard us say that the last 2 months.
Go ahead, tell everyone what the heck's been going on.
Well, what happened was I tried getting on Jenny's broom because she makes looks so easy flying around. And I crashed really bad.
When you fly around like she does, she makes it look easy.
It does. I thought it was easy, and then that tree, I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, she's really good at moving around those trees. I mean, she's a professional.
Oh, they are so funny.
Best thing is,
But the real story is my right leg, not sure really how it happened. I broke it, 4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
5 years ago, bad, and needed pins and all that kind of stuff in it. And I've always had leg pain ever since, and they just kind of said it was all nerve damage from that deal. Well, it's just kind of gotten a little bit worse, and I just blamed it at that. About whenever it was last time I came to the races, it was really getting really bad. It was I could hardly even walk. So went to the doctor one day, and they rushed me off to the hospital. I had a blood clot behind my knee where your femoral artery branches off into 3 other arteries, and 2 of them were completely blocked. So I had very little blood flow to my lower leg, toes and stuff. And since I broke my leg, I haven't been able to move my toes on that leg. So just kind of thought it was all because of the accident. But long story short, ended up scheduling surgery for it. Had surgery. It was about 5-hour surgery. They had to do a artery bypass in my leg. That's where I've been. And then took 3-4 weeks after the surgery to get back out here. So I might even put a picture on there for everybody to see how bad it was. How nice it was.
Well, you might want to spare us the details. You might want to spare us the details. And we have more trick-or-treaters coming. Help yourself. Take multiple.
I already told them.
Yeah.
You collecting pictures too?
And we have pictures too. So Cody, what are you thinking for tonight?
I already told Dad. We have our slick set up in. It's already slick.
Yeah.
It's just the only difference from I think last night to tonight, besides temperature difference in the air and the track, is they moved the tires in.
Oh, good.
So that's
that
awesome.
That was a
on the bottom this time, so just have to make the outside work or go where they're not. And quite frankly, this is one of those deals that you want to win it, but you also want to make it too, so you can't just be a bozo out there and drive your vehicle and make mistakes. You gotta take your time, be patient. It's 12 laps. I understand it's only 2 more laps than normal, but you gotta make it in before you can try to win a race, you know, and we haven't done that yet, so we gotta just go out there and race our race, worry about ourselves, and put myself and our crew in a good spot, so you know, we can make the show and see what we can do from the back again.
talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. You want to go or do you want me to go? Okay.
So we're just here to wrap up the weekend. Talk about the weekend.
Yeah, so as you guys saw, we went to OGILIVE Raceway, OGILIVE, Minnesota for the Topless Nationals. Ended up drawing 60-something out of 100. That put us starting 7th in the heat race. Got a good jump on the original start. Unfortunately, the yellow came out. Otherwise, we would have been way up there. Probably would have made the show the first night. But it is what it is. The yellow came out. We started 7th. The guy in front of me knew exactly what I was going to do the second time. And he was smart and took my line from me. And I just had to kind of stay single file because I didn't want to pull a fall classic move and spin out and wreck some stuff. So stayed in line and wasted some time and ended up getting third. Put us on the outside of the front row for the B feature. Led every lap. That was a long one. Ended up starting what? I don't even know.
15th.
15th, and there was yellows right away, but we didn't get any laps in, so I'll just say we went literally green to checkered and went from 15th to 9th. Took until about halfway through for me to really figure out how to drive the car correctly. Had we had another yellow or had a yellow, we would never have finished 9th. I'm just saying right now, I don't know where we would have finished, but we would have been further up than 9th. We had a really good car. We made some changes to allow us to enter harder, straighter, to carry more speed through the corners, and it made a difference. I think we found some stuff that we can go back on for next year when we face those same track conditions at certain places. We do have areas to be a little bit better in, so we'll keep digging in those areas, but overall it was a good weekend. Car was straight, nothing all bent up or anything like that. We didn't use our tires up. Overall, it was a fun weekend. It was great to have Marcus back there on Friday night. It was too bad he couldn't make it on Saturday, but life is life, and Amber wasn't able to make it, but still has success without her, so that's great. And it's nice to have Dad back at the track for the first time in a month or two, and that was good. I miss having him at the track. What a lot of people don't see that he gets to do behind the scenes is he helps me with making setup changes and making sure that I'm in the right spot on the track, or we talk about things like that. And he has the experience that I don't. When he can go back on certain things, like this is what the track's probably going to do, this is how you're going to need to run it, this is where you need to be. You need to be very aggressive on the start. I mean, he was on me well before the B feature even started, telling me, you don't have to get a good start, because Ogilvie during the daytime racing is always slick and dry and normally one lane. Got a good jump on that B, and just little things like that make a big difference. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today as far as driving habits go and how hard he pushes me. So there's a lot of things that we've been missing for the last month or two, and it was nice to finally have him back. And as Mom knows, I call him literally after every race to see what he says, his feedback, whether it's positive or negative.
Well, yeah, you call him during the races too, but that does not mean that Cody always listens to what he says. No. And the other thing is, sometimes I feel like you just need to have a little bit more confidence in yourself and your abilities and not use that as a crutch so much.
It's not a crutch.
Well, okay, for instance, on Friday, you were watching the track and telling me, call Dad, tell him this, tell him that. And it was this back and forth, and I did like 3 times. And then at the end of the day, you didn't listen to what I said, or Tim told me to tell him anyway. He did what he wanted to. But that also makes you learn when you do make your own decisions. And again, yes, I agree. It is really nice to have him there.
It's the
feedback, the things that I can't tell you what a car is doing. And the other thing is, it's very hard because I'm videoing, and when you spend a lot of time videoing, you're not into the details of the racing where it's fixing this or doing that or working on this or doing that or knowing what the car is doing or isn't doing. You don't have those discussions, so you're not in that mindset. So it is definitely nice to have, you know, like Marcus and your dad there for sure. Makes it a lot easier. But I think that's one thing, maybe not having them there the last couple of months, I would hope has given you a little bit of confidence, more confidence in yourself.
It does, but what I'm saying is, like, you think it's a crutch. I think I use his feedback as far as, like, what he would do as something to go off of. And sometimes I don't agree with him. And I've made decisions where he says to do something and I do the opposite, and it works out. And I've also made decisions where he says to do something, like Friday night, he told me to do something else and I didn't listen, and I came back in and I said, you know, I should have listened. But it's just a chance you take. It's a decision, and every decision can affect something. So it is what it is, and you learn from it and write down and take the best notes you can. And that's what Mom and Amber do really good at, is writing down everything, so we have a good notebook to go on from track to track. And
that is key.
And building a notebook is huge. Anyone that doesn't build a notebook, I don't know how you remember it, but
you can.
I suggest you do notes, because
As I said,
well, one thing I was going to just talk about is, like, you know, what were your expectations of the weekend, and how do you think that went based upon your expectations?
My expectations was to show up and as Dad would say, just let them know that you were there. You know, earlier in the year I beat myself up pretty bad, and I'll just say this is because I went into every event wanting to win, and Dad kind of sat me down about
Really?
September, early September, and said, Cody, you know, you can't expect to go out there and win every single night. If you do that, you're just going to beat yourself up, and racing's going to be no fun. And just go there and show that you were there, and let them know that you were there. And so that's really it. So, you know, I felt we did that, and I'm just looking forward to race some more. I just really wish that the year didn't end.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about too. I mean, as of this point, you've only ran 18 shows, and normally that's about halfway through the season, because we run 30 some shows. And so, you know, this would be like halfway, which right now where you're at halfway would be a really great position to be in, because then you can just, the rest of your season, you've got confidence, you know you've got a car that works, all those things, and then it just is usually a lot of fun going into the end of the season and into the invitationals, because you're at the top of your game, where that's been a little bit of a disadvantage for you this year.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to even say it, but we got behind the 8 ball early this year, just due to, you know, things not going our way or falling the right way. I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus or anything, but it's just unfortunate. But you live and learn, like always, and I just really wish we could go down south and race. I really do, but we can't. We all have to work, and we have stuff going on. So
yeah, we've got stuff going on right now.
But it is what it is. Maybe in the future we can
definitely,
after the season's over up here, head south and go racing. So
yeah. I just want to say thank you to a couple people. It was very hard when you're not at your normal track. It's hard to find a place to tape or video from, and Ogilvie is one of those places that there really is only one good spot, and that's normally where I stand. And because of the race that it was this weekend, I couldn't stand in my normal spot. So I just want to say thank you to Hawkeye, and then the family next to him. We have a picture of their kids. Tim will probably post it here, but thank you to both of them for allowing me to sit in your booths and kind of your space and video. Otherwise I don't know what I would have done, and the video wouldn't have been as good of the actual races on Saturday. So thank you.
Yes.
I mean, so much appreciated from people that that just kind of, know that you need a little bit of help, and they help you out. So thank you very much for that. And
there's just one last thing I think I want to touch on, and we as a family and everyone that is a part of our channel, we want to know what we can do better for you next year. I understand people want in-car cameras, and just this year it was not, unfortunately, it just wasn't in the cards. I wish we could say it was, but it wasn't. So things like that, or what do you guys want to see more of? I know that I was lacking in the shop, and I can say I'm sorry about that all I want, but please let us know down below. Any feedback is appreciated, is what I was trying to say. And whether it's this winter or next year or whatever it is, we just need to know so we can make this better for you guys. Without you guys, none of this is possible. So with that being said,
sorry, we're being invaded.
Yeah, our
the
dogs.
neighborhood, and now our dogs are barking.
Our dogs are barking. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching, and as always, please like this video, comment below on exactly what we were talking about, share this with your friends and family, and as always, don't forget to subscribe.